The glass trembled in her hand. Something about the orange juice wasn't right. She smelled it again, metallic, off. Her instincts screamed, but the butler mocked her. "Always imagining things," he said. Yet minutes later, that same glass was found laced with poison. She had just stopped a billionaire from dying by refusing to serve his drink. What no one expected was what came next. A hidden motive, a shocking betrayal, and a reward that left the entire staff speechless. This is the story of Black Maid saves millionaire by stopping juice. Hey, story lovers, are you enjoying our new story theme? Then go ahead and hit that like button. Every morning at the Langford estate began the same. Fresh linens, silent halls, polished silver. Ava, the only black maid on the Millionaire's staff, moved with quiet precision, unnoticed yet essential. She had worked in the mansion for 3 years, waking before dawn and preparing breakfast before anyone stirred. She never spoke unless spoken to, and always wore her uniform crisp, white apron, hair pulled back tight. The Langfords were old money, the kind of family where tradition ran deeper than trust. But Ava didn't mind. Her paycheck paid for her little brother's education back in Georgia. What she couldn't ignore, however, were the glares, the whispered comments from the head butler, the subtle way her suggestions were dismissed. And this morning felt different, tense. The kitchen was buzzing, but not with the usual prep. Something was off. And as she reached for the tray of morning juices meant for Mr. Langford, her fingers froze. There, nestled among the glasses, was the orange juice for Mr. Langford. It was his daily ritual, served precisely at 7 a.m., freshly squeezed, just how he liked it. But this morning something didn't feel right. Ava caught a faint scent, bitter, metallic. It's subtle but sharp. Her heart skipped. She sniffed again. It was there. Something was wrong. She glanced around. No one else noticed. The head butler was occupied barking orders. The chef slammed pans, cursing under his breath. She hesitated. If she said something, they'd mock her, again, call her overdramatic. But if she stayed quiet... Taking a deep breath, Ava picked up the tray and strolled. Deliberately. At the dining room doors she paused. Then, without warning, she stopped the butler and whispered, "Don't serve this yet, something's wrong." He rolled his eyes. "You're imagining things again." But Ava stood firm. "Then let's have someone else drink it." That shut him up. Suspicion flickered in his eyes. Within minutes, the estate nurse was summoned to test the drink. The result? Confirmed traces of a toxic compound, enough to cause cardiac arrest. Panic exploded, staff questioned, plates abandoned. Ava stood frozen as eyes turned toward her, not in scorn this time, but in stunned disbelief. Who would poison the billionaire's morning juice? And how did she know? The house descended into controlled chaos. Security sealed the kitchen. Guests arriving for brunch were halted at the gates. Inside, Mr. Langford was pale, silent, gripping his cane. But all eyes were on Ava. She stood quietly beside the doorway, watching it all unfold. The butler, who had mocked her, was pulled aside. Surveillance footage revealed him sneaking something into the prep station minutes before Ava entered. His motive? A hidden inheritance clause. If Langford died before the year's end, the butler stood to receive a payout. Ava's quick action had exposed a deadly betrayal. Mr. Langford rose slowly and approached her, eyes misting. "You saved my life," he whispered. Cameras clicked, phones buzzed. But Ava didn't smile. She was still processing what could have happened if she hadn't trusted her instincts. Dear audience, from where are you watching? Comment your city below. Days later, Ava returned to the estate, not as a maid but as a guest. Mr. Langford had made it public. Ava's bravery saved his life, and she would never work in a uniform again. She was gifted a scholarship fund in her name, enough to send dozens of students like her brother to college. The estate staff had changed. Respectful nods replaced racist eyes. The story made headlines. Black Maid saves millionaire, unmasks poison plot. But what stayed with Ava wasn't the fame. It was the power of being seen, finally, for her worth. She once feared losing her job for speaking up. Instead, she changed a legacy. How many others like Ava stay silent, fearing they won't be believed? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.